Before anything else, let me make something very clear. I refuse to use any other social media platform, including TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, nothing. This right here, YouTube, this is the only place I speak. Not because I want fame, not because I want followers, but because I'm passionate about stacking. And I'm passionate about helping real people think for themselves in a world where the system is designed to do the thinking for you. And of course, before I forget, shout out to yesterday's first commenter, my good friend, Blue Collar Stacker. Thanks, brother. I appreciate the support. The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. Henry David Thoreau. Most people don't even realize they're trapped because the cage is invisible. Today, I want to share a story, a warrior story, a story about betrayal, deception, awakening, discipline, stacking, and becoming sovereign in a world built to distract you. But I'm not telling this story just to entertain you. I'm telling it because hidden inside the story is everything you need to hear if you want to break free from what I would call the Matrix. I once knew a warrior, strong on the outside, but searching on the inside. A man who wanted success so badly he could feel it burning in his chest. But the world he lived, it was built to distract him. Everywhere he turned, there was noise, drama, anger, celebrity nonsense, and emotional manipulation designed to keep him soft, small, and distracted. He didn't know it yet, but he was walking through the Matrix, or a system like the Matrix. One day, this warrior was approached by people who claimed to have the answer. They promised wealth, they promised freedom, they promised a shortcut. They pulled him into not one, but two pyramid-style schemes. And he almost got tricked into a third. I won't name them, it doesn't matter. What matters is the lesson. They didn't steal his money, they stole something much deeper. His hope, his trust, his belief that success came from discipline, not fantasy. And when it all collapsed, the warrior felt embarrassed, angry, ashamed. He realized he wasn't betrayed by a company. He was betrayed by his own desire for shortcuts. And after those experiences, the warrior fell into a fog. He started consuming more noise, more media, more emotional content, more quick fixes, and more instant gratification. You know, those dopamine hits. He didn't know it, but his brain was slowly getting poisoned. In today's time, they call it TikTok brain, or a short attention span, chasing dopamine instead of discipline. That's how the system wins, not by force, but by distraction. One day, he looked at himself and said, "Enough. I'm done being a pawn in someone else's system." So he unplugged. He stepped back. And then he started rebuilding his mind, brick by brick. No more shortcuts, no more hype, and no more get-rich-quick schemes. No more brain rot. He picked up books, he listened to audiobooks, he studied, he worked early mornings and late nights. He rebuilt discipline. Also, he rebuilt honor, character, and responsibility. And with time, he became the warrior he was again. When his mind was finally clear enough to see reality for what it was, he discovered stacking. Not as a trend, not as some hype train, not because someone promised instant wealth, but because stacking was the first thing that made sense in a noisy world. It was real, it was tangible, it was honest. And it required patience, discipline, and long term thinking. Everything the warrior had built within himself. And something else happened. He learned to disagree with others without disrespect. For example, platinum. Some of his favorite stackers love it. They hype it, they really like to stack it, and he respects them for it. But platinum simply doesn't fit his strategy. Now, that's something I would call maturity. That's manhood. That's real character. The ability to disagree and still walk away as friends. And if you haven't realized it yet, that warrior I told you about, that warrior was me. But here's the truth, the warrior is also you. Any one of you watching this could be on that path. From deception to awakening to sovereignty. And that's why I create videos. Why I stay off other social media platforms. Why I refuse sponsors. Why I keep things simple and real. Like my buddy Thousandaire does, who refuses to take sponsors. Because I'm not here for fame. I'm not here for money. I'm here because I'm passionate about stacking. And I'm passionate about helping you think clearly in a world built to confuse you. For those of you fellow stackers who are possibly in your 40s, maybe in your 50s, you probably went through something similar. Perhaps mine might be a cautionary tale. But when I was in my mid-20s, I just didn't know any better. I was still learning. I was still growing. I knew nothing about stacking. I knew absolutely nothing about financial literacy. So I was trying just different things. I got sucked into something that I just shouldn't have. And I learned from all of those lessons of life, I learned that what's important, it's not fast money. It's not those get rich quick schemes and those kind of Amway things. It's hard work. It's putting in time. It's grinding. And that's what I did. I learned from those lessons. I went to school. I educated myself. Now, I'm not saying that everyone needs to follow the same path as I did. Not everybody needs to go to school and get a bachelor's degree. All I'm saying is that for me at the time, I found value in getting an education. And from there, I got into some really good work. And then that set me up to pay off debt, get into a place that now I can stack metals, and most importantly, I can secure my future. I'd like to leave you with this. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. As always, thank you all for being part of my journey, warriors. I appreciate the support, and remember, protect your wealth, protect your peace. Nos vemos. Kaliilo out.